Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga. Today's theme this week is about right alignment, that phrase, right alignment. And I want to approach it a little differently from what it seems to be telling us on the surface. Surely, I don't want to detract from the fact that yoga principles, in terms of the physicality of doing our asana practice, encourages a mind toward leaning toward awareness of how you're carrying your body and aligning yourself to the best available place so that you're well supported. That is true. That is true. So I'm not trying to take away from that. I do try to teach that way, where I'm at least throwing out some um, ideas about better ways to support yourself. Basically, if you're looking for a shortcut answer in terms of the physicality of right alignment, managing the weight of your head, managing the weight of your body, and your joints, keeping your joints stacked so that they're able to support your body weight most efficiently. That kind of idea is good way to just sort of train yourself to right alignment in the body. But I wanted to approach a broader view of right alignment today. I remember I had a teacher, one of my early teachers, every single class that she started, and I was brand new to yoga. So yoga was such a different concept to me. I was so disembodied at that time in my life. I mean, I lived in my head entirely. So this was brand new to me to just think of the world in a different way, a little different perspective. So anyway, she would start every class at some point at the very beginning. She would say, "Remember, there's no judgment and no competition. No judgment, no competition." And I think that her emphasis, if I'm not mistaken, was within oneself. She wasn't entirely worried about, or didn't emphasize, let's put it that way, that you might be competing with someone else or judging yourself compared to someone else in the class. I suppose there was some of that, but I think she was primarily teaching us to come to yoga as a beginner every time, and to not judge yourself and not compete with yourself, meaning, last week I could do it this way and I did it great. Now this week, look at me, I'm not so strong, or whatever, I'm having an off day. And she just wanted always, always, always to reinforce that there's no place for that in yoga. There's no place for judgment or competition. So again, the her attitude about it was with kindness and with compassion. She wasn't scolding. She was just encouraging us to let go of that. So that concept of right alignment, I guess I really want us to think about. But we have a poem that I've used many times, and I'm going to start with that poem, probably end with it as well, to help us put our arms around, our head around, put us into the space of, you pick one, of what we might be looking at here in a broader sense. So find a nice, comfortable, upright position where you're sitting up real tall. You feel very mindful about how you've positioned yourself, coming away from the back of the chair so you're not leaning into the backrest, making sure that your feet are grounded and that your legs come out from the hip joints. You're just very aware of creating sort of a right angle with your legs, with your knees and that coming out right from the hip joints, and then squaring your heels right underneath the knees. So you've created a nice, well-aligned position in your body now. Pull in the belly muscles so you feel like you've got abdominal support for your low back, for your whole body for sure, but it certainly stabilizes the low back. So as we close the eyes down and just begin to transition using this transitional time, so we come into a new state of being, a new awareness of ourselves and of our breath. So that's of course the real secret to yoga, is bringing yourself into this interior view and connecting with your breath as a wonderful, beautiful gateway into that interior view. The name of this poem from my trusty book, nothing new here, is Yoga. The name of it is Yoga. Yoga is not about the pose. It's not the alignment of toes or hips or shoulders. It's not about the form. Yoga is an invitation to explore, not a command performance. It speaks the language of the soul. In the flow of breath and motion, yoga coaxes us from the confines of the known across the silent threshold into vastness. Yoga is the union of prayer and movement, guided from inside. It is healing and the joy of saying yes to life. Breathe, relax, and feel the body receive its own truth. The seed of freedom flowers within each of us whenever we are open to what's real. So take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale it out of your mouth with a sigh of ah. Do a couple of those. Put the block, if you're using a block today, just put it in a place that gives you the sense of alignment that you look for, that feels most supportive for you. And let's flutter the eyes open. With eyes open now, let's sync up the breath. Inhale, palms are coming together up and overhead. Exhale, bow into your own heart and stay there in this bow position. So you're coming into that Namo, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo is this I bow to all that is. And Guru Dev Namo is the divine guru, the divine teacher within. I bow to that as well. Let's use this posture, eyes closed here, bowing into our own heart to set our particular intention for our practice today. What do we need today from yoga? And what is right alignment for you today? And so it is. Let's take one more breath here, inhaling up and exhaling this time all the way wide with our arms all the way down and bringing those hands right alongside the frame of the chair. Pull back, let your arms pull back, straight back, and let your chest come forward. Your chest bone is forward, feeling that arch of your back body and how the shoulder blades are squeezing toward each other into the cow pose, this extended spine. Feel your feet to the earth. Feel how your leg muscles must be engaged. Now you want good strength from the lower body, from good stability. As you arch the back body, very exaggerated, to an extension of the spine. Breathe in and out. Find a fullness of breath here. We've postured ourselves into a position now where our lung capacity is well supported, to increase and improve our lung capacity, well supported here. Couple breaths, staying in the arch of the back, into that extended spine, breathing in and out. Hands are pulling back, and your hands are kind of trying to always stay close to the chair. So it helps you to keep your shoulder blades pulling toward the middle. Let's finish the breath we're on. When it's time to take a new breath, round through the back body, let your arms just float up and let your chin drop in towards your chest. Now creating the same kind of awareness in the back body with the roundness, with the the flexion of the spine that we call our angry cat, the cat pose. Let your chin tuck down towards your chest or towards your throat, the pit of the throat. See if while you're here, you could move your jaw around, left, right, movement of the lower jaw. This is great stimulation for your thyroid gland. The lower jaw is just kind of moving around while you've got your head down and your chin is kind of tucked in toward your throat. Find your full breath cycle now. Make sure you're steady with the breath. When we come back up, let's let those hands lift us all the way up. Arms are extended as straight as we can make them. Get your arms as far behind you as your body will allow. Lift, lift, lift. Keep your feet connected to the earth. Let's just move through the shoulder socket. Inhale is the big lift. Exhale is the sweep down. So inhale is up. Exhale is down. This is your pace, so you don't need to keep up with me. That you don't have to watch me. I want you to just pay attention to how this feels in your body, keeping your arms close to the chair. It just kind of assures our alignment of those shoulders. The movement through the shoulder socket is appropriate or intentional. And stay true to your full breath in and full breath out, that mantra. I think every one of us has kind of found that to be useful, just reminding ourselves time and time again to stay true to that full breath in and full breath out. So inhale is the up, exhale is the down. Let's hold with the downward movement. Push your hands back behind you. Notice how your shoulder blades are shaped right now. Find a steadiness of your breath. Inhale back up. Exhale, stretch forward to a forward fold. Come down, down, down. So you're laying yourself into your thighs. Maybe you let your armpits come around your knees. You open your feet if you decide you want your legs a little further apart. That right alignment here has to do with knees staying in line with the ankles. Keep your eyes open and see if you can surrender the weight of your head. You're allowing the top of your head to reach down toward the floor. And find big belly breathing. You want to really emphasize the movement of the low belly here, your belly breathing now. Let's jump our hands to our thighs, squeeze your elbows into your waist, and lift yourself up about halfway so you're creating that diagonal line with the back body. Now push your feet into the floor so you really feel the engagement. I'm giving you a side view in case you need that. Elbows are squeezing into the waist. Imagine you're trying to hover above the chair. I don't want you to lift yourself up, but you got so much of that action going on with your pushing your feet in. You're feeling the engagement of your thighs. You can feel the buttocks engage as though you're hovering above the chair. Now here's where we're going to do that O-shaped breathing. You're going to create that O, inhaling, and you're just lifting the pelvic floor while you stay in this diagonal line. Let's do several breaths like that. Inhale is pulling and kind of vacuuming up so that the perineum feels like it's lifting up into the body. And then exhale is just a softening and just a release. All of the effort really is on that inhale, O shape of the mouth, lifting up in the perineum, strong legs, soften. A couple more now, stay with it. What this does, it's an effort to, a great practice for preventing a condition called POP, P-O-P, pelvic organ prolapse. So we're keeping our awareness into this perineum and toning it, keeping it strong so that our pelvic organs are well supported. One more for a full breath cycle like that, using the O shape of your mouth and then just softening to release. Let's fold all the way down, look underneath the chair. Relax your shoulders, surrender all through the spine. One more big breath, big belly breath. Jump your hands to your thighs, come all the way up. Arms are going to come up as well. We're lifting up right now. We're moving again just through the shoulder socket. The inhale is the upward movement. The exhale is down. Next time you're coming up, grab hold of your elbows so you've got a little frame around your head. So see if you can get a hold of the elbows, good grip. Each hand has a kind of good grip on the elbows, and you've got your arms, your upper arms aligned with your ears. That's going to give you some support to just do some gentle movement side to side. So stretching through the side waist. See if you can really stabilize your lower body. Maybe you squeeze the block a little bit. No judgment, no competition. So if you're, if we have anything going through us that says, God, last time I did this, felt like I could bend deeper than I'm bending today. See if you can meet yourself where you are with compassion, love and compassion and acceptance, how it feels right now, and that you're tending to the experience at hand. There's security in having those upper arms around the head like that. It's really supportive of your neck. I know we're doing a lot more than we usually do. A couple more on each side. When we come up, we're going to take a big backstroke to come out of that all the way around. Big backstroke. Let's do another one. Big inhale, big exhale. We're going to stay in the swimming mode here. So as we do some shoulder rolls forward, I want you to take a stroke. So just start with maybe a stroke before you get your head involved. Right now, we're just including the arms. So the shoulders are rolling forward and your whole arm is extending like you're taking a stroke in the swimming pool here. And then I want you to add that breath. So you let your head lay onto that stroke. So I'm going to say, turning your head like you're going to take a breath in the water. So turn it, use your ear and your arm as the aligning principles here. You're trying to turn your head so your ear sort of lines up or lays onto your arm. Take it at a nice, slow and easy pace if that works better for you. Find your breath throughout it. You're just feeling what connects for you with the breathing. We're turning it. We're going to feel this as a beautiful way to connect our shoulder movements and our neck, how they're so related. One more stroke on each arm, turning the head like you're taking a breath, and then come back to your neutral position. Shrug and release. Shrug those shoulders and release. Let's try this as a vinyasa. Inhale, shrug and hold. Exhale, release as you exhale completely. Inhale, shrug and hold. Exhale, release completely. One more time, shrug and hold that inhale. Exhale, release completely. Let's scoot that block underneath the chair so we can have movement of the legs now as we begin to lift up. So just lifting your feet up, and we're going to put our feet into a flexed position. So when you lift your feet up, you want your toes to pop up like your toes are reaching towards your shins. So real flexed position of your feet as you just lift up. And where your hands are, maybe you like to hold on to the chair. That gives you more stabilization. That's fine. Hands at the hips kind of thing, or the waistline. I like this at the hips. It's like gives me a real sense of how my pelvis is moving or not. I like to have this sense of the pelvis here. And then let's start going wider. So we go out and back in. So we're just moving that movement through the hip joint now is going from external rotation back to its more aligned position, like when we're walking. Again, using the chair, if that gives you more stabilization. I'm noticing it was starting to strain my low back with my hands on my hips. So I'm going to bring my hands to the chair. So I've got the stability I want. Stay with it now. Flexed feet. Come back to center. Let's go wide. We're going to meet in that wide angle. So put your feet really ground down. You feel your heels. Heels are in, toes are pointing out. Let's find that circular movement now. Hands are on the thighs. You want some fleshiness under your hands rather than the bone of your kneecaps. Let's get our hands on flesh. And find that movement where your head is real steady. Your neck and your head move as one single unit, and it's real steady. The movement is through the chest cavity. The movement is directed by the chest bone. But it's a big movement. It's a big circle. Go as far forward, as far side and back as you can. Let's squeeze the elbows in toward the waistline. Now find your breath. Just connect with what's my breath doing here? Next time you're in the forward position, let's find that diagonal line. Pull your chin in towards your throat. The back of the head, neck, and spine are in alignment. Let's spring our hands loose like they would our wings, and pull your hands back further than you normally do. Instead of straight out from the sides, pull your hands back, back, back. So you feel the arch of your back body. Press your feet to the floor, including your toes. Now find a nice steady rhythm of breathing all the way in and all the way out. I want you to work on finding your thighs here, finding your thigh muscles and the engagement and the strength of your thigh muscles here. Inhale up with me, palms come together overhead. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale straight up, palms face forward. Exhale, let's fold into that big space between our legs. Go all the way down, and let yourself look down and under the chair. You want your hands on something. I'm hoping you can touch the floor, no problem. But if you're finding that challenging, either grab your block as a place to put your hands, or put your hands somewhere on the legs so that you feel grounded. You're not just letting your hands just dangle in air, but that your hands are grounded just like everything else. Deepen the breath. Try to surrender the weight of your head. Move your head as if to say no, that little no, and then as if to say yes. Excellent. Let's jump our hands to our thighs, squeeze those elbows into the waistline. We're just coming up halfway to that diagonal line again, reaching back. Arch the back body. Feel the strength of your thighs now. Push down with your feet, and you feel really engaged in the legs. Imagine that you're trying to hover above the chair. Let's take a breath with that O-shaped mouth. Lifting up through the perineum. Exhale, soften, release. 2 more. Lift up through the perineum. Exhale, release. And release. Arms are come all the way up. Palms come together overhead. Let's just hold there. Get your arms as close to your ears as you can. And arms as straight as you can do. Lift up your head to look at your hands if that works for your neck. We're breathing in and out. Strong, long arms. Head tilting back if you can. Let's take our inhale together now. And exhale, hands at the heart. We bow into yourself. Hold that. Stay here in this field of no judgment, no competition. Self-compassion is right alignment. Let's bring our hands now to the shoulders. And we're going to just start by maybe circling around or twisting around. So I want you to just kind of free for all here. Just reset your body with your hands in this position, whatever your body seems to be looking for. Once you've loosened up, then let's begin our twisting motion. So we're going to twist over to bring our elbow to the opposite leg. Now, if you found that your wide angle is too wide for this, just bring your feet a little closer together so you're able to touch down. And also the adjustment you might be able to make is that you don't need to stop at the thigh. You could go deeper. You could let your elbow drop below your thigh. And so that's going to be a deeper fold for you. That's great. So the twisting motion is really great for our abdominal wall, those side abdominal walls. It's when we have to come up and down in that action. So that's really toning those waistline muscles, if you will. Try 2, where you stay down and do a second tap. Stay down and do a second tap. So you're doing 2 little pumps on each side. Find that breath in and out. When you're tapping with one elbow, lift the other elbow up toward the ceiling. Be mindful of that. Stay with it, a couple more on each knee or each thigh. Let's come back to our neutral position and just shake those arms out. Shake them out. We're going to go back to walking in place in this wide angle. So lift those legs up high, flex your feet. Let's get our hands ready to scoop underneath. So you hold it up. One leg is up in the air, doesn't matter which, and we're going to spin that foot around, change the direction. Sit as tall as you can. Don't lose the strength of your spine, that upward position that you're in, very vertical with your spine. We'll go to the other side, lifting up, hold on to it with your hand underneath your thigh and start spinning your foot around. Stay tall with your spine. Pull the belly in for extra support in the low back. And of course, we got to find the full length of our breath. Let's get both feet to the floor and see if you can rock back and down. So you're just going to let yourself come forward, and then you get a little momentum and you're able to pop the feet up, forward and up. Be ready now to get your hands under your thighs so you can hold your feet up, flex those feet, pull your thighs in towards your chest and belly, pull your spine upright. You got some leverage here, pulling into your legs, flex those feet. Now see if you can keep lifting just any amount that we're lifting the shin bones a little bit higher. Any amount, very flexed feet. You might try spreading your toes. Deepen the breath. Could be a very hearty breath by now. Let's come back down and get our feet back to the floor. Take a pause, reset your body. Good, let's do practice. I'm going to turn myself to the side. You don't need to do it at all, but I want you to be able to see that. We're going to practice a couple of variations of the chair posture, the chair pose, Uttanasana in the yoga language. So I want you to, again, I'm turning, you don't need to, bringing your knees back into alignment with the hips. So you've got that right angle with your legs. And then stretch your arms out forward, 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 so that you feel your body weight coming into your feet a little differently. And then see if you can just start to hover. You're just, again, you're not going to leave the surface of the chair. Your bottom is still there, but you can just feel that. Let's bring hands to the prayer position now. Hands are real close to the chest, and you're just hovering. You got all the strength of your leg muscles helping you just sort of lift up off the chair, but not doing that yet. You're just feeling the power in your leg muscles. Let's come back to neutral. This time, bring your legs together. Bring your legs together in like a mermaid leg, where we've got our single leg now. Same sort of thing. We're just going to come forward a little bit so we can feel that shift into our legs. Hands are coming together at the heart. Squeeze your legs together now. Left elbow is going to come way over. I want you to start to twist left elbow way over toward the outside of your right thigh. And that your hands are pressing together and your elbows are straight up and down from each other. Now squeeze those thighs together and deepen into your twist. You're trying to like revolve yourself so you're no longer facing one direction, you're facing another. Your chest is facing another, your face is facing another way. That's it. Elbows are stacked. Squeeze. Let's come back to center. Should be able to do the same thing on the other side. Pay attention. Here's an alignment idea that I really think is very useful. Notice where your ear is. You want your ear in alignment with your feet. So you've got this line of alignment here. So you're not tucking your chin or holding your head in any kind of a particular way. You're finding this very neutral position with the head by aligning your ears with your feet or your knees, which seems to be the line you can draw. Elbows align with each other and they're pressing your palms. Let's find a deeper breath. Beautiful. And then let's unwind back to neutral and come back up. Legs are still together. We're back upright. Let's take a pause here. Reset the body. Keep your legs in that mermaid leg. When you're ready, inhale up, palms come together overhead. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale up, let's try another twist. Exhale, arms drop over to the side. Use the back, use the chair so that you can keep your spine vertical, but you're starting to pull the back shoulder back. I think adding that individual shoulder roll is pretty helpful. So if you agree with that, you want to give that a try, let's individually let that back shoulder loosen up so we can pull it way back. You might even try the other shoulder. It's got to go the other direction. So you're just gently rolling forward. Use your chair to the best of your ability. I got this nifty chair that's got lots of little ways for me to hold on to it. Pull the belly in, squeeze your legs together. Feel the fullness of your breath in and out, all the way in, all the way out. Let's unwind the head. Stay with your pose for another breath. Unwind all together. Let's shrug and release. Just reset the body. I'm going to ask you to just throw the shrug and release in there somewhere, maybe something else you're doing, but be sure you also include this shrug and release. Catch up with your breathing. Inhale up, going the other way now. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Remember that twist starts low, works its way up. Let's get that individual shoulder roll so we can really deepen this twist for ourselves. Twists are detox poses. That's a good way of purifying the body, allows you to really release some of the waste, some of the toxins, if you will, energetically. It's a very cleansing type of a pose. So remember, the spine is vertical. Try not to lounge one way or other, leaning one way or another. You're trying to be straight up and down with the spine, and you can use your body. You can use your chair to kind of give you the leverage, holding on to the thigh or holding on to some part of the chair. Now let's find the neutrality of our head. So the chin is parallel to the floor. So you're keeping your head very neutral. Squeeze those legs together and deepen the breath. All the way in and then all the way out. On your next exhale, turn your head out of the pose. So you just have your shoulders and your body is still in the revolve position. You took your head out of the equation, and then the shoulders are able to come out as well. Shrug and release. We're going to scoot our feet underneath us now so we are able to pop up out of the chair. So see if you can do it with your feet in this mermaid leg position. If you're finding that's problematic, that you're not able to balance as well, obviously I want you to just find a good supportive way for you to come out of the chair. A little more challenge would be to have your feet together. Let's keep our feet together as a variation of the mountain pose. So we've got our feet together, squeezing those legs. Again, if that doesn't fit for you, doesn't work, then you'll just get your feet that hips distance apart like you're more familiar with. But bringing your feet together is more of a balance challenge. We've kind of narrowed the space of support. We don't have a broad base of support now. We have this narrower place to bring our center of gravity and be aware of that grounding. Turn palms forward so you can direct your shoulder blades back and down, and then see if you can find that parallel position, a very neutral position with your head. So it's a good measuring is that you're making sure your chin is parallel to the floor, not tipping down or reaching up. Activate your legs, squeeze your legs together so you feel the action of the leg muscles. I'm going to move because I want you to see a side view in case you need to glance at the screen. I don't want you to move at all. I am going to move. So you got the side view. We're going to extend our arms out and just act like we're going to sit in that chair. I want you to shift your weight as best you can into your heels. Now you're not going to lose your feet to the floor. You're going to feel your toes. You're going to feel the balls of your feet. But primarily you've gotten your weight shifted back to your heels so that your knees don't feel any pressure. Let's come back up. Take a pause. Deepen the breath. Now, if you found having your feet together to do that was not easy, it just made it more difficult than you, just separate your feet a little bit. Try it. If you can keep your feet together, again, it's just our challenge for today. This time, instead of extending the arms, we're going to bring our hands to the prayer position and do the same thing. Shift your body weight into your heels, yet you still feel connected, the balls of your feet and your toes, but most of your body weight now has come back into your heels. So you're taking all of that pressure off of your knees. Let's try that twist. See if you can turn and get your elbow down to your thigh, just like we did when we were seated. Hearty breath. And you'll try as deep of a drop of your hips and buttocks as you can. So if you're very close to the chair seat, that'd be great. It's more challenging. Let's bring ourselves back to center. See if you can do the other side. And if not, you could take a pause in between and catch up with your breath and then add that other twist. Your choice. Keep your head neutral. Remember, guiding your ear, being aware of how your ear is really helpful in keeping the neutrality about the way you're holding your head and thus holding your neck. Come out of that twist when you're ready. Come up. Take a pause here. Keep legs together or apart, whichever you're feeling is the best idea for you. More challenge is keeping our legs together now. It's just a little bit more challenging in terms of the balance. I'm going to step away from the chair a little bit, coming a little bit forward, so I've got plenty of ability to move. This one does kind of require our feet together, so if you can all give that a try, we're going to start circling those knees around. I'm going to give you a different view of it so that this is good for the knees to find this circular range of movement. It's also very good for your ankles. So we're strengthening the ankles, we're strengthening the knees. I hold on, really have a good hold right around my knees. Let your breath support this. Just find your breath, be aware of it. Circling, stay with one direction. Feet, ankles, knees are benefiting. Let's come back up to standing, catch up with the breath. Just come back to a mountain. Catch up with your breathing. Remember which way you were circling. We want to do the other way now. So we squat back down and we're going to circle our knees the other way. You feel how your body weight shifts in your feet. It's very good for all of those little joints of the feet, toes, but primarily ankles and knees. Finding a nice range of movement, very supported. Back upright. This time I want you to open your feet a little wider now. So you're more like hips distance apart, maybe even a little wider than that. Let's turn our palms forward, pull the belly in, get your shoulder blades back and down. Hands are going to come to the thighs. As a matter of fact, I'm not quite as wide. I want it a little wider so I can feel that right away. We're going to come into a position where our arms are very straight, pressing into the thighs, not so much the knees at all. We got our hands on flesh, and we can do a cat-cow movement here. So I want you to feel that arch of the back and then the roundness. It really emphasizes the movement of the pelvis from tilting to tucking. Find a gaze, bring your eyes to something so your eyes aren't wandering around the room and looking at the screen, but just bring your eyes in focus on something while you move your pelvis, tuck and tilt. Arms are strong. Come to a neutral position and let's use our hands to glide ourselves right down, down through the legs, down. Keep your hands on your legs till you're all the way down. Let your knees bend any amount they need to till you're looking down and underneath yourself between your legs. 2 full breaths here. Jump your hands to your thigh, bend your knees a lot. You're in that squat again. 2 full breaths, all the way to standing. Find your mountain pose where palms face forward. Catch up with your breath now. Take the hearty breath you might need. Now I want you to close your eyes. We're going to do the circle of breath. I want you to feel your feet to the floor, feet to the earth. And let the breath start there. Inhale up through the front of your body, all the way through the front of your body. So it's a long inhale. When you reach your head, it's exhale time and it goes down the back side of your body. So circling your breath as you ascend with your inhale through the front body. And as you descend through the back body on your exhalation. Circle your body with breath. Eyes closed if you can. If that doesn't work for you, then my suggestion is to look down toward the floor so your eyes are barely open, but they're open. And find a drishti. And just stare at that as you find that image of the breath circling your body, inhaling up, exhaling down the back. One more full breath cycle like that, one more circling. Let's flutter the eyes open. And I want you to shake your body now. Get your heels to come up off the floor, and you got a nice bend in your knees, and you're shaking your body, changing the energy. And then let's turn to the side. Now you might decide you want yourself near the chair in a different way than what you see me doing. So please, by all means, use the chair to support you the way it feels the best. We're going to start by shifting our weight into our left leg and letting the right knee come upright. So we're creating a right angle and we're balancing on one leg. I'm going to bring my hand to my hip here, and we're just going to see about moving that knee from up to down. It's not going to push back just yet. Right now it's right up in front of us, and we bring it to its neutral position alongside the standing leg. Bring your head up and find a gaze, find the drishti that you can focus on while you're just simply moving this bent knee, that leg with a bent knee, through the range of movement here in your hip. Next time your knee is down next to the standing leg, I want you to push back. So you're letting the sole of your foot, of your right foot, push back. So it's really going to fire up the glute muscles and the hamstrings in a toning way. So it's not as much strengthening or stretching. Maybe it's not as much stretching, but it's more toning going on through that glute and the back of the thigh. Let's bring that knee up high. Can you get both hands underneath your thigh? One or both. Real flex foot. Let's take a breath in and out. And then both feet will come to the floor and we'll shake that out. I don't know about you, but I could feel the fatigue in that standing leg. It was starting to say, okay, I've been holding you up a long time. So let's try shifting now. So we're going to give the other leg a chance to be strong like that. We start with that bent knee straight out. We want a flex foot, and we're just bringing it down so it's next to the standing leg. So you're just keeping your knees in alignment when you're down and up. So find that drishti, focus, heightened awareness by focusing your eyes, breathing in a rhythmic way, and moving. Next time your knee is alongside the other knee, the standing leg, let's push back now, toning through the buttocks and the back of the thigh. So push back, push back. Find your breath. Your standing leg is strengthening. It's being strengthened. The bone mass is strengthening right as we do this because all of your body weight is being held by that standing leg. Let's meet with the knee up high. Can you get one hand or both hands underneath that thigh? It's a very flexed foot. Find your rhythm of breath. Find your drishti. It's going to help you stay put, help you stay balanced. Let's get strong with the belly muscles. Exhale every time, all the way out. Both feet to the floor. Let's shake that out. Give it a kick. Good. And then let's position ourselves with the high side of our chair facing us so we can do an extended fold. Hands are coming to the chair. We're going to start stepping away. You want your feet parallel to each other, toes pointing straight ahead, heels right below, right behind your toes, so you have nice straight feet. Let's start to straighten through the back of the knees. Now, if you need to warm up a little bit, you might bend and straighten, bend and straighten. If your body does feel warmed up and you want to start working on straightening through the knees, start now, whenever it feels appropriate. Bend and straighten is a great way to get started, no problem. Find your breath. Let your breath help you decide. Remember, ease of breathing is your body's clear signal that you're working in a range that is absolutely safe for you, absolutely appropriate. So we're trying to straighten through the bend of the back through the back of the knees. We're trying to see if we can straighten some of that out, which of course means we've stretched our calves and our hamstrings to allow for that. Arms are extended right alongside your ears. We're going to start to come forward, walk up, come on up, all the way forward. Right foot steps forward, left foot back, both legs are straight. Inhale, palms come together up and overhead. Slow it down. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, go all the way back to interlace your hands behind your back. Pull your knuckles back and away. So those interlaced fingers are pulling back and away from the back body. You're going to feel a real arch of the back body. You're into your cow pose here, through the spine, shoulder blades drawing toward the center. See if you're able to look up. Maybe one hand has to be on the chair. Exhale completely. Bring your head back to neutral. Take your hands back to neutral, back to the chair. Let's step back and stretch that out. Bend and straighten. And when you're ready, you start to straighten through those legs, trying to work on stretching through the calves and into the Achilles part of your heel, of course, into your hamstrings. Remember, it's a light grip with the chair. You're not trying to squeeze it. I want you to really just learn to set your hands on the chair because your legs are strong enough to hold you up. You're not being held up by your arms now. You can rely on the fact that your legs, the hips, buttocks are holding you up. Tuck your chin in towards your throat so your head feels neutral and deepen the breath. Exhale completely. We're going to start to walk forward now, coming up. Left foot this time steps forward. I didn't mention on the first one. I hope it's not too late. Remember, your legs, your feet are in their own track. You're not trying to step up into a balance beam. So your feet are in their own track. I like to use the chair's legs to line myself up. One foot's in line with one chair leg and the other foot's in line with the other chair leg. All 10 toes face forward. We're straightening the legs, no bend. It's going to take our balance to another level. Inhale up, palms together overhead. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale up. And exhale, come all the way around again. We're going to interlace hands and pull those knuckles back. Feeling the extension of the spine, our cow pose showing up. Lift up your head if you can to change your drishti to look up. Deepen the breath. Feel your body weight into your strong legs. Nice strong core. It's like your thighs are trying to find each other. They're kind of looking for the magnetic pull of the midline energy. Let's get the head back to its neutral position, get our hands back to the chair. We're going to step back and stretch that out. This time I want you to bend your knees a lot and move your hips from side to side. It's kind of wagging your tail or swaying the hips from right to left, left to right, just moving side to side. Find your breath now. As we come forward to the chair, let's turn it around so we'll have use of the chair seat for our downward facing dog. Hands are going to come to that chair seat, start walking back again. This time you're going to be much lower with your chest, so butt stays high, chest low. That's my shorthand description of it every time. So butt is high, chest is low. Let's get our arms close to your head as you can. I like to have my hands the same distance apart of my feet to match that up. That's an alignment principle that's really served me well. Tuck your chin in towards your throat. Feel the length of your spine. Feel how beautiful that is, how long and strong you feel through the whole length of your back body. Deepen the breath. Let your breath be as it is. It doesn't have to be through the nose. It doesn't have to be a particular pace. You're finding your breath and you're paying attention to it, honoring the breath, accepting it just as it is. Keep your heels to really push into your heels so you feel you're willing to experience maybe the intensity of that. Excellent. Let's start walking ourselves back up. This time I want you to round your back body into the cat and come up slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bending the knees and letting your upper body come up vertebrae by vertebrae to our upright position, our mountain pose. Just stand right where you are, catch up with your breathing. But be in a pose, be in a particular position that you've chosen, a mindful place to be. Good. And then we're going to get our chair position now for Shavasana. So find yourself making your way back into the chair where you can sit way back into the chair and allow yourself now to lean into the backrest. Let your legs fall open wherever they are comfortable. And then begin the process of closing the eyes and softening into your deep breath in and out with the goal in mind to release and relax with each and every breath. There's like one more layer that peels away. Maybe you need some cleansing breath before you can get started in that process. That would make sense to me. Eyes closed so you can really experience this from the inside out with no distractions. Welcoming that inner view. I'm going to paraphrase a little note I jotted to myself based on the sentiment expressed in one of my birthday cards that I received. As we develop our yoga practice, we start to get better at living in the moment, letting life change us into the people we were meant to be all along. And when you start looking for goodness like that, you'll start to see it everywhere. When you start to see it within you, you'll see it within everyone. That we were all of us, all people. When they begin to get better at living in the moment, they become the people they were meant to be all along. Let your body relax into the support of the chair. You're letting yourself be held by the steadiness, the reliability of that chair. And that you can be grateful for that. You can feel the support of that and be grateful for it. Full breath in and a full breath out. Soften your mouth, relax your tongue, soften your jaw. And let me repeat the last two stanzas of the poem, Yoga. Yoga is the union of prayer and movement, guided from inside. It is healing and the joy of saying yes to life. Breathe, relax, and feel the body receive its own truth. The seed of freedom flowers within each of us whenever we are open to what's real. Feel the softness of your belly as you breathe now. Softness of your hands and of your feet. Relaxing your shoulders. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. The luxury of that breath in and out. Inviting more and more release and acceptance. No judgment, no competition. That's not yoga. Let's take a full breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with a sound. Ah, make that sound. We didn't work on our sound healing today. Let's offer it right now. Inhaling and exhaling with a sound through your mouth, vibrating sound throughout the mouth and into your throat. One more time. Then come forward on your chair so you can get your feet back to the floor and your spine is long and engaged to stay upright. Drop your chin to your chest ever so gently. Just tilt your head side to side. It's kind of like you're tracing the frame, the shape of a smile, that you're letting your head just roll up from one side to the other. Your chin is down and you're just creating this, tracing the lines of a smiley face. Bring your chin back to center and come very slowly upright now. Palms are going to come together at the heart space. Let's sync up our breath one last time. Inhale up, palms are together up and overhead. Exhale as you bring that right into your own heart. Bow in. Inhale up and exhale. Let's share this peaceful energy, this yogic energy, all through our communities. Palms come together. We bow to ourselves and we bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me.
Namaste, Julie. Thank you.